So we made another grip, as you may or may not know. We're on to the Snap 3 Pro. This is our 4th generation grip. And what we wanted to do with this video is just explain some of the thought process as to why we seemingly keep making a new grip every 9 to 12 months. It's not because we're bored or we're trying to pull money out of you guys over and over again. It's simply because we're in the pursuit of the perfect grip. And until we feel like we've accomplished that goal, we're going to keep releasing grips. We have sort of our eye on this mark of what we consider to be a perfect phone grip. And you know, these things are really tricky to engineer because they have to be incredibly thin and small and economical to build and durable and check all the functional boxes that we think a grip needs to check. And as you know, or as you may or may not know, what I have in front of me here is the 4 generations of grips that we've launched to date. This is what we call the Alpha Grip, or the OG, that we launched on Kickstarter in 2019 and shipped in 2020. And then we came out with this one in the middle of 2020. This is the 1.0, this is the 2.0. And then this is the Snap 3 Pro. And we wanted to make it more durable, more comfortable, and we wanted to make it truly MagSafe compatible. So wireless charging can be more easily adopted with whatever variables you throw at it. In this context here, this is an iPhone 14 Pro Max. This is a standard Amazon, case. I'm not even sure what brand it is, but most of the time, those cases are going to be between 1.8 and 2 millimeters thick at the back of the case. And this is the most popular wireless charger in the world. This is an Apple MagSafe wireless charger. It has essentially a limitation in terms of the distance that it will allow itself to charge, the distance between this surface here and the back of the phone itself. It's about 4.6 to 4.7 millimeters. There's a little bit of tolerance there. And so if you say a case is gonna be between 1.8 and 2 millimeters thick, that gives you a budget of thickness for anything else on top of the case to be about 2.6, 2.7 millimeters. And we said, okay, we want some safety margin there. So we said to ourselves earlier this year, we said we need to make a grip that's 2.5 millimeters thick. And in case you're unaware, it's extremely thin. It's a little bit thicker than a nickel, an American nickel. Just in the laws of physics and magnetism and injection molding, about the thinnest wall you can injection mold reliably is about 0.5 millimeter. So if you just say, okay, we have to have some plastic here and here, that's all already a millimeter. It's almost half the thickness budget we have. So it was a really tough challenge. But we said, we wanted to make a grip that you don't have to remove in order to use things like this. I want to be able to just make this part of my phone, a permanent part of my phone, be able to snap on any sort of wireless accessory, a battery, a charger, a mount, a wallet, whatever, and not have to remove it. And I don't want this thing to feel like a cumbersome sort of parasite on the back of my phone. But at the same time, there's the thickness goal, but there's also things like comfort and durability, which are extremely important. I mean, this is a grip. That's why you put it on your phone in the first place. And so if we look back at just kind of what we've done in the past, this thing was really cool because it was actually a really comfortable grip. I think its grip functionality was its best feature set. You push this thing open and then you had to close it, so it was kind of a 2-step process to get it into grip mode. And then you put your finger in and they can rotate and all that, and it's a pretty comfortable grip. But it was kind of a mediocre stand, and obviously it didn't work with wireless charging at all. So we made this whole thing removable, so if you wanted to wirelessly charge, you could just pull it out. But still, just another step, another cumbersome step, which is kind of similar to what you see with a MagSafe pop socket today. Yes, it sticks to your phone magnetically via MagSafe or whatever, but to use a charger or anything else, you have to remove it and put this somewhere and then say, make sure I don't forget it when I'm done with whatever I'm doing. And then we said, a grip should be a magnetic interface in and of itself with the 1.0. We said there should be magnets in this thing that align with a wireless charger and other various mounts so you don't have to remove the grip. But to make this thing mount to the phone, we had to implement this steel ring thing. The steel ring applied to the phone, and then this stuck to the steel ring magnetically. And that actually created some extra interference with the wireless charging and everything, so it wasn't quite as compatible with certain thickness cases and types of cases as we wanted it to be. A few months after this hit the market, MagSafe was announced. This was like October of 2020. And we said, oh crap, well now we have this competing wireless charging and magnetic standard called MagSafe, and we don't want to compete with Apple in that way, obviously. And so that's when the 2.0 came around, and we said, okay, let's use the same core concept with the silicon band and the cap that the 1.0 had, but let's just refine it. Let's make the magnets, according to MagSafe, the Apple MagSafe standard, and let's just kind of continue the architecture of the 1.0 to the 2.0. And then the 2.0 came out in the early part of 2022, and it was, it's a good product, but it just still think there was other things. It still required the steel ring. The rotation was less than what we wanted it to be. It's a little bit thicker than we wanted it to be for things like this wireless charger and some other things like this battery. And so we said, you know what, enough is enough. Let's go for that 2.5 millimeter target. Let's figure out a way to solve all these things at the same time. Two birds, one stone, essentially. Let's make it more durable. Let's fix rotation. Let's make the magnets stronger. Let's make it thinner so magnetic wireless charging works with whatever case and whatever charger you throw at it. And let's make it look a little nicer. Let's make it a little more premium feeling. And we were able to do that. And it's just a kudos to our engineering team. I mean, we put a lot of effort into this thing, and we landed with something that works with every phone, works with any case you throw at it, and more often than not, by far, this situation here is going to work. So as far as we're aware, the Snap 3 Pro is the only grip in the world that can wirelessly charge via MagSafe chargers or even just the old pad style chargers without having to remove the grip from the phone or case. And that was learned over the multiple generations of grips that we've made to date, and listening to the feedback that we've gotten as a result of those interactions and those tens of thousands of people that have bought our previous generation grips and told us that wireless charging is one of the primary reasons they buy these grips from us. And so we really spent a lot of time ensuring that this functionality was intact. But for MagSafe people, one of the biggest questions we get now is, well, you use an adhesive assisted mounting mechanism, so is that really MagSafe, or is that going to be problematic? What if I want to remove it? And the whole point is there is no reason to remove it anymore. Like, I just can't think of a reason. Even if you have a wallet or this battery, like, it'll still stick directly to the grip and work just fine. It only adds a couple millimeters of thickness extra. So if you're using a wallet, it would work just fine without removing it. But if you really need to remove it, we did think about that and we made it easy. Yes, it is adhesive assisted because the magnets in here are quite strong. The magnets in these chargers are quite strong. And so if it didn't have adhesive, like there's a lot of force on this thing holding these things together. And so if it wasn't adhesive assisted, this would most likely or would pull the grip off the phone, and then you have to go retrieve the grip off the charger, put it back on the phone. So what we designed it to do was, if you can take this is a hotel key, if you take a credit card or a license, even anything like this, it's designed to kind of act as a wedge and direct this thing off the grip. All you have to do is release it in one spot like that and it pops right off. And this is reusable over and over and over again. Now I can pop this right on. It is magnetically positioned, so you don't have to worry about getting it in the center or anything. And so you can do this as many times as you want. And then if you do this like 100 times, the adhesive starts to wear out. All you have to do is take a little bit of rubbing alcohol, rub the adhesive, and it brings it back to new. And so it is removable. It's just not, it just requires a little more effort because we are using this magnetic interface to replace the MagSafe interface and actually enhance the MagSafe interface on the back of the phone. The magnets on this grip are far stronger than the magnets on a case or the phone itself, which actually enhances MagSafe functionality as well as providing it there in the first place. So that's a little behind the scenes of why we do the things we do, why, how we take the data we learn from our beloved customers into account when we're doing product development, and why ultimately the reason we launch grips seemingly every year is because we're pursuing the perfect grip. So thanks for watching.